I've heard people pay it for 15 years, 20 years, and they're still paying it. It doesn't go away. I'm gonna show you later on as the video continues. I'm gonna show you. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Frank Quiniguez. I am the ambassador of reading, and today we're going to do part 3 of how to pay off your house in 10 years or less. There were a lot of beautiful comments on the HELOC and a lot of questions on the HELOC, so thank you for that. People that ask me, do we have to pay the money back? Of course you have to pay the money back. It's a HELOC, it's a loan. Can we use it to pay off the house and then just continue with the HELOC? Great idea. My suggestion is that you get the full amount and not partial, because then you're going to have 2 payments. I'm not going to continue with a HELOC. If you have any more comments or questions, you can send them to that video and I'll get to it and answer them. Today we're going to focus on the PMI, because that's the way it's going. So today, part 3, we're going to focus on the PMI. And PMI is money that people don't have to pay. And I'm going to explain myself. People that have to pay PMI or private mortgage insurance are people that come in with less than 20% of the money that they're going to borrow. And so whenever people are going to come in and buy a house and they don't have the full 20% to come in, then they're going to pay private mortgage insurance. On my video number 1, I said principal mortgage insurance. I would like to argue, but I'm not going to argue. The correct word to say it is private mortgage insurance. And thank you for those people that said, hey, Frank, isn't it private instead of principal? Well, it's an insurance to pay off the principal. So anyway, thank you for those people that made those comments. So whenever you come in for a private mortgage insurance, the rates are going to go from 0.03 all the way to 1.5. And it may not seem like a big difference, but it is a big difference. And it's going to depend on the lender. The lenders have their own charts as to what they're going to charge. So if you go to this lender, they may have a chart. If you go to this lender, they might have a different chart. And you're wondering, hey, what's going on? Isn't it the same? It's not the same. Different lenders, different charts. And the borrower, which is you. So if you have excellent credit, guess what? Chances are they're going to charge you 0.03. If you have bad credit, they're still going to lend you money. They're taking a bigger risk. So they're probably going to charge you 1.5. Or if not 1.5, maybe 0.09, 1.0. However, if your credit score is low, then they're going to charge you a higher PMI, because they're saying, we'll handle it. If they don't handle it, we'll handle it. PMI, what does PMI do for you? Nothing, absolutely nothing. It is for the lender. They're guaranteeing that you're going to pay the loan back. And they're saying, if they don't pay it, with their insurance, we guarantee the lender or the bank that we're going to pay it. But if they pay it, well, they pay it. And it doesn't just go away by itself. Many times I've heard people pay it for 15 years, 20 years, and they're still paying it. It doesn't go away. I'm going to show you later on as the video continues. I'm going to show you 4 ways to get rid of it. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue to talk about it. Anyone who pays PMI is in a race to reach 50% of home equity. And now what does that mean? It means that as soon as you hit 20% of equity in your home, you can request the bank to pay it off. So you can just run the race and wait for it, or you can speed up the race. How? By paying extra to the principal amount of the loan, bringing it down and hitting 20% of equity on your home. And that's when you can get rid of the PMI. I'm going to go a little bit more into detail as we go further down on the list right here. For those with FHA, oh, wait a minute. So anyone that has a PMI, go do your own research on this act. It's Homeowners Must Be Aware of a Homeowners Protection Act. If you're paying PMI, go do your own research on this one, Homeowners Protection Act. And that basically tells you when is it that you don't have to pay for it anymore. And if somebody's charging you, what can you do? So look into it on your own, okay? For those with FHA or VA loan paying MIP, which stands for Mortgage Insurance Premium, for those people that have that kind of a loan, since they come in with zero sometimes or very small amounts, the MIP is going to be higher than the PMI. And you're wondering, so what can I do? Well, you can change it to a PMI This one, the MIP, you have to wait 5 years before you can get rid of it. The PMI, you only have to wait 2 years to get rid of it. And now we're going to get into the 4 ways of getting rid of the PMI. So if any of you out there have a loan, FHA loan, where you paid 0 or very little and you're paying MIP, look into it. How do you do the transfer from MIP to PMI? The difference is 3 years. Now you're saying it's only 3 years. Yeah, but if every year is costing you $3,600, so imagine it's going to be over $10,000 that you're going to be saving by switching it back to PMI. Now, 4 ways to get rid of the PMI. If you just make your regular payments per month, and just don't worry about it, once you hit 78% and it hits it on its own on the loan that you borrowed, let's say you borrowed 150 and you finally are down to 78% of the loan, then you can go ahead and get rid of it. Now, the difference between this one and this one, number 2, 80% on making it happen. You don't have to wait to make your scheduled payments and hit 78. You can get your income tax and throw it in there towards the principal. If you sell a car that you no longer want it and it's just sitting in the house and you put it towards your principal and you bring it down to 80% and you're making it happen, then you can go ahead and request that they get rid of your PMI, and that's money in your pocket. Now, average folks are going to go grab those $300 that they were paying towards their PMI, and they're probably going to find a place to spend it at. So those people that are watching this channel, you're not just average folks that are going to grab that money and just dump it on whatever or go spend it, find a place to spend it. People that are watching this channel and that are in awareness of their money and they want to pay off their mortgage in 10 years or less, we use every dollar against the principal amount. So instead of you spending it, you grab those $300 and you apply it towards the principal amount of your mortgage. And guess what? It's going to speed you up. You don't even imagine. We're going to go to the no savings on another future video, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, how come everyone doesn't tell us about this, or no one tells us about this? There are many people out there that know what I know. So you don't just have to see me in this channel doing this. Find other information, compare it. However, don't just compare it and just know the information. Take an action. Whatever action you decide to do and you apply it to your principal, you're going to love it. Now, let's go to the third one, refinance when interests are down. Right now, we have a situation. We are in the year 2020, March of 2020 finishing, or April 2020, and we're done with it. Right now, we have a situation where the interest rates are going to drop. You're going to have lenders knocking on your door. Would you like to refinance? Well, the interest rates are going to be down. The interest rates are going to be down. Plus, you add taking away the PMI. It is money in your pocket. If your interest rate drops, that's money in your pocket, and you no longer have to pay the PMI. That's money in your pocket. Remember, if you want to be the average folk, go find a way to spend it. If you're watching this channel and you want to get rid of your mortgage in 10 years or less, you grab all that money. And remember, I prefer 2 checks, principal only. Why? It guarantees that they're not going to get that extra payment and put it at the end of the loan, or they're going to disperse it in places where they want to disperse it, and it's not knocking down the principal amount. You want to knock it down because it saves you on the interest, and it saves you on your time, it saves you money. Now, will you refinance when the interest is down? Now, this one, when the value goes up. Here in California, man, people were buying a house at $350 today. At the end of the month, it was worth $400. Well, the value is going up. They don't have to pay. They don't have to pay any extra. They don't have to make the regular payments to go down. They don't have to refinance. Just that the value is going up at a very fast rate. Now, if you have the value of your house and you have equity of 20% or more, you can request for the PMI to be taken off. Now, how do you know that the value has gone up? Look at your neighborhood. If that house is 400 and that house is 500 and that one is 450, and you live in a similar home, chances are your house is going to be worth anywhere between 400 and 500. If you paid 300, you're in the clearance. Go ahead and request to have the PMI removed. All you need to figure out is 20% of whatever the value is and match it to your loan. If it's less than 80% that you owe, you're clear to request that the PMI be removed. And remember, apply that money from the PMI towards paying off your principal mortgage, and you will get it done in less than 10 years. I guarantee it, but you have to apply it. Very well, so we're just going to do an overall review of what I talked about today. Last video, part 2, we talked about the HELOC. A lot of questions on the HELOC. It's not money that you just spend and you don't pay back. You have to pay it back. So the HELOC, just use it as an emergency. Watch video 2. I'm not going to review the whole thing right now. PMI, private mortgage insurance. You're going to be charged on the private mortgage insurance anywhere between 0.03 all the way to 1.5, and it depends on who's lending the money and who the borrower is. If the credit is good, it's going to be less on the private mortgage insurance. If their credit is bad, then it's going to be higher on the private mortgage insurance. PMI protects the lender. It does nothing for the borrower, just so that you know. Anyone who pays PMI is in a race to reach the 20% equity on their behalf so they can stop paying the PMI. Homeowners that are paying PMI must be aware of Homeowners Protection Act. I said it at the beginning of the video. You do your own research. For those with an FHA or VA that are paying MIP, and I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm not going to talk about that one because I didn't talk about it on my first video or second video. I'm not going to talk about it. But if you are one of those that has FHA or VA loan and are paying MIP, and you've paid it less than 5 years, you may want to switch it to a PMI and you can get rid of it. You only have to be with a PMI 2 years. MIP, you have to stay with it 5 years. So you may want to switch it. 4 ways to get rid of the PMI. 78%, where you're just making regular payments. You're not doing anything special. You just wait until the 78% hits. Then you get rid of it. This one, you make it happen with extra money. You add it towards your loan. You hit 80%, you request it. When the interests are low and you can refinance and you have 20% of value towards you, and you're going to owe less than 80% of the loan, you can get rid of it. You get rid of the PMI and you drop your interest rate. Both of those are going to put money in your pocket. When the value goes up, there are certain areas where you buy today and tomorrow it's already up. If the value hits 20% on your behalf, you can get rid of the PMI. There you have it. That's just a quick review of what happened. I want to thank all of you that are watching our channel. It continues to grow, and we have a lot of people sharing the channel, a lot of people putting comments, which we are grateful for. Your comments, we read them and then we make adjustments to what we're doing here. Hopefully you watch what's going to happen this year. I think a lot of good changes are going to be happening, and you share the channel and you allow us to continue to grow. Thank you very much. Till next time, your friend, the ambassador of reading, Frank Quiniguez, wishing you well today and always, knowing that you will find and get what you are looking for. Thank you for watching our channel, and congratulations for making it here, where we give information that benefits the individual that's watching and their loved ones. I invite you to subscribe and be part of our channel. Set the notifications and watch the new videos. Thank you and welcome.